He taught it without compromise, and he lived it in his own flesh. If you cannot stand with Christ on Friday, you will not recognize him on Sunday. Padre Pio did not speak about Lent as a seasonal adjustment. He spoke about it as a battlefield. And Friday was the front line, and let me say it plainly. For most people, Friday is where the spiritual life dies quietly. Not with rebellion, not with atheism, with comfort, with small decisions that seem harmless. With later, with tomorrow, with I'll start again next week. Padre Pio would not allow that softness. He would tell you that a soul does not drift into heaven. A soul is carried there by sacrifice, by obedience, by daily resistance against the self. And for Americans, the temptation is sharper because we are trained to avoid discomfort at all costs. We pay to avoid it. We medicate it. We entertain it. We distract ourselves from it. We treat discomfort like an enemy. But in Christianity, discomfort is often the doorway. Not all suffering is holy, but chosen suffering offered in love changes a person. It turns the heart outward. It breaks selfishness. It makes space for God. So I'm warning you from the beginning. If you listen to this and you simply nod, nothing will change. You have nodded for years. You've heard homilies. You've watched videos. You've read books. And yet the interior battle remains. This time, do not consume this message. Submit to it. For too many Catholics in America, especially those of us who have been in the church for decades, Friday in Lent has been reduced to a menu choice. We ask what we can substitute. We compare recipes. We congratulate ourselves for remembering the rule. But Padre Pio, who carried the wounds of Christ in his body for 50 years, would look at us and ask a harder question. Where is your heart? Because at your age, the question is not theoretical anymore. You have seen how fast life moves. You have watched a healthy person become sick. You have watched strong people weaken. You have seen marriages fall apart. You have seen children grow and make choices you could not control. So Friday is not just a religious tradition. Friday is a mirror. It shows you what you really love when nobody is watching, and you should be honest about this. Many people in their later years do not become more holy. They become more fixed, more stubborn, more easily irritated, more cynical, not because they're evil, because they stopped fighting the interior battle. That is what happens when comfort becomes the default. And if you think that does not matter, remember this. Your family does not only inherit your money, they inherit your spirit. They inherit your tone, your impatience, your tenderness, your bitterness, your faith. Your grandchildren will not remember what you said you believed. They will remember what you were like when you were tired, when you were contradicted, when you were inconvenienced. Friday reveals that. You avoided meat, fine. But did you avoid sin? Ask yourself something uncomfortable. When was the last Friday that truly changed you? Not impressed you, not informed you, changed you. Be honest. Did your Friday produce more patience, more restraint, more humility, or did it simply pass? In the comments, write one word that describes your last Friday. Distracted, intentional, rushed, faithful. Name it. When you name reality, you begin to take control of it. You ordered fish. Fine. But did you offer your hunger for anyone? Or did you simply rearrange your comforts and call it sacrifice? This is the danger for men and women who have lived long enough to know the language of faith, but have grown comfortable with its minimum requirements. We know the prayers. We know the calendar. We know the disciplines. But knowledge is not love. Habit is not surrender. Padre Pio warned that the devil does not always destroy a soul with scandal. He destroys it with softness, with routine, with a faith that is technically correct, but spiritually asleep. A faith that fulfills the rule and withholds the heart. Look honestly at your last Friday. After decades of work, responsibility, raising children, paying mortgages, caring for aging parents, you arrive at the evening tired. And you tell yourself, I've done enough, God understands. And so prayer is postponed. The Rosary becomes optional. The Stations of the Cross feel excessive. You reach for the remote instead of the crucifix. And here is what makes this so dangerous. Nobody calls it sin anymore. It feels normal. It feels deserved. It feels harmless. You tell yourself you're just unwinding. But what you're really doing is training your soul to avoid silence, because silence forces you to face yourself. Silence forces you to remember what you promised God years ago. Silence forces you to notice what you've been neglecting. Silence forces you to feel the emptiness you've been filling with noise. So the screen becomes a shelter, not just entertainment, shelter. And the enemy loves that, because a sheltered soul does not grow. A sheltered soul becomes delicate, easily offended, easily discouraged, easily tempted. That's why the battle is not dramatic. It is slow. You don't wake up one day and decide to lose your faith. You simply stop practicing courage in small things. You stop fasting seriously. You stop confessing regularly. You stop praying with attention, and then you wonder why your heart feels dry. It's because the soil was never watered. 3 hours of television, endless news, political outrage, financial anxiety, crime reports. Entertainment that mocks the very commandments you claim to honor, and yet 10 minutes with the Passion feels too heavy. This is not about guilt, it is about clarity. Your strength is not gone, it is misdirected. You have energy for distraction, but not for devotion. Attention for noise, but not for the cross. Padre Pio spent up to 16 hours a day in the confessional. He was exhausted beyond what most of us will ever know. He carried the sins of thousands. His body bled. His nights were sleepless. And yet Friday for him was not a collapse into comfort. It was a deeper immersion into the suffering of Christ. What happened to us? We live in a country of abundance. Even our fasting is comfortable. We remove one item and replace it with something equally satisfying. We call it penance, but we never feel the edge of sacrifice. The early Christians fasted knowing it could cost them their lives. Today, we fast knowing it will cost us nothing. That difference should disturb you. Comfort has become our hidden idol. Not money, not status, comfort. And idols always demand sacrifice. The question is, who are you sacrificing to? Because you are sacrificing something every day. You are sacrificing time, attention, and interior peace, either to God or to comfort. Comfort demands that you avoid hard conversations. Comfort demands that you avoid confession. Comfort demands that you stay distracted. Comfort demands that you keep your pride intact. And it looks gentle, but it is ruthless, because it steals your courage without announcing itself. Padre Pio would tell you that the devil does not need to chain you, he only needs to soothe you. And when you are soothed long enough, you become unable to kneel, unable to weep for sin, unable to fight temptation, unable to endure prayer that feels dry. That is why Lent exists. Lent is spiritual rehab. It restores the muscle you stopped using. We don't just like comfort, we obey it. But Christ did not die comfortably, and Padre Pio did not carry the stigmata comfortably. If your Christianity has never inconvenienced you deeply, then something essential is missing. Right now, ask yourself, when was the last time obedience actually disrupted your plans? Type in the comments, "Lord, disrupt me," if you dare. And listen, we never allow the body to remind the soul that it is not in charge. If you cannot deny yourself a small appetite, how will you deny yourself a serious temptation? If you cannot hold your tongue at dinner, how will you hold your integrity under pressure? If you cannot step away from a screen, how will you step away from sin? The will is like a muscle, and here is the truth no one tells you. At this stage of life, your habits are stronger than your emotions. You will not drift into holiness. You must decide into it. Small denials create inner steel. Small indulgences create inner weakness. Tonight, skip one unnecessary comfort. Just one, not dramatically, quietly, and offer it. That is how strength returns. If you are willing to train your will this Lent, write in the comments, "Train me, Lord." Let that be your prayer. At 25, you could neglect it and recover quickly. At 55, 65, 75, neglect has consequences. The habits are set. The reflexes are ingrained. That is why Lent is not optional for you. It is urgent. Padre Pio understood something most modern Christians avoid. Small compromises accumulate. They do not explode overnight. They erode. A little impatience, a little bitterness, a little indulgence, a little resentment. And over years, the soul becomes heavy, defensive, lukewarm. You still attend Mass. You still identify as Catholic, but the fire is low. And on Friday night, when the week is done and the house is quiet, a subtle battle begins. Not dramatic, not obvious, just a whisper. You deserve comfort. You deserve escape. You've earned this. The enemy rarely attacks older souls with reckless temptation. He attacks with fatigue, with nostalgia, with regret, with the suggestion that growth is for the young and that you have already done your part. Padre Pio would reject that lie immediately. He would say, as long as you breathe, you fight. As long as you wake up, you love. As long as your heart beats, you belong at the foot of the cross. Inside you, two voices argue. One says, look at you. After all these years, you're still struggling with the same impatience, the same pride, the same hidden sins. You should be further by now. You are a disappointment. The other says, relax. You're better than most. At least you're not like those who abandoned the church. God understands. These details don't matter. One voice pushes you toward despair, the other toward mediocrity. Both keep you stuck, because instead of acting, they argue internally. They replay the same loop. I should change, but I'm tired. I should go to confession, but I'll go later. I should stop this habit, but I've tried before. And the loop feels like thinking, but it is actually surrender. Padre Pio would not let you sit in that fog. He would force you to make a clean act of will, not a feeling, not a mood, a decision, because heaven is built on decisions, not emotions. And here is the terrifying truth. If you wait to feel ready, you may never move again. So if you are hearing this and you know exactly what sin is draining you, name it quietly right now. Just to yourself, name it, and do not soften it with explanations. Truth first, then mercy. Spiritual paralysis does not feel dramatic. It feels reasonable. You still pray, occasionally. You still attend Mass, mostly. You still believe, intellectually. But your interior intensity has cooled. You no longer tremble before the Eucharist. You no longer fear offending God. You no longer hunger for holiness. And the most dangerous part, you have learned to live with that. Padre Pio once said that lukewarm souls do not fall suddenly. They fade gradually. Are you fading? Pause. Breathe once. Let it sting. If this strikes you, write one word in the comments. Awaken. The voice of God is different. God does not negotiate with your excuses, but He also does not crush your weakness. He calls you higher. And here is your micro-discipline for this week. Before you defend yourself in an argument, pause for 3 seconds. Just 3. That pause is spiritual warfare. If you struggle more with pride than despair, write humility in the comments. If you struggle more with discouragement, write trust. Say it out loud. I've been soft. This is between you and God. It does not humiliate you, and it does not flatter you. It says, yes, you are weak, now come closer. This is why so many avoid confession, not because they don't believe in it, but because they are tired of confessing the same things, tired of admitting that time alone did not make them holy, tired of confronting the truth that discipline faded and comfort increased. Padre Pio was severe in the confessional when there was no sorrow. He would send people away if they treated the sacrament casually, not because he lacked mercy, but because he understood its cost. He saw what sin did to Christ. He felt it in his own flesh. But when a soul came broken, honest, ready to change, he was a father. He wept with them. He prayed for them. He carried their burdens. This is the standard. Serious about sin, tender toward repentance. Friday is not about food. It is about identification. When Christ hung on the cross, he did not offer a symbolic inconvenience. He offered himself entirely. And every Friday in Lent asks you one question: will you stand there or will you look away? So here is what you will do. This is not a suggestion for the spiritually curious. This is discipline for serious Catholics, especially for those who have lived long enough to know that comfort does not save you. If you want your remaining years to be powerful, not passive, then take this seriously. Write in the comments, "No more passive faith," and mean it. Not as a suggestion, as a discipline. Every Friday night in Lent, before you go to bed, you will not collapse into sleep. And to make this real, I'm going to tighten it even further, because vague plans die. So listen carefully. You will choose a fixed time window, not a perfect time, a fixed time. For some, it will be 9:30 p.m., for others, 10:15. Pick a window that exists in your real life, and you will create one physical, holy spot. A chair, a corner, a small table with a crucifix, something visible, because your environment trains your behavior. Then you will begin the same way every Friday, one slow sign of the cross, not rushed, slow, deliberate. Then one sentence out loud, even if quietly: "Jesus, I am here." That single sentence breaks the spell of distraction. It brings the soul into the room. Then you read the Passion, then you name the sin, then you offer the sacrifice for a soul. Then you end with one act of trust. "Into your hands, Lord." 5 to 10 minutes, but it will change you because it is consistent, and consistency is what weak souls fear, because consistency exposes excuses. First, you will kneel. If your knees cannot handle it, you will sit upright, feet grounded, back straight. No slouching, no multitasking. Your body will signal that this moment is different. Second, you will open the Gospel and read a portion of the Passion. Slowly. The agony in the garden, the scourging, the carrying of the cross. Do not rush. Let one sentence pierce you. Third, you will name one specific sin from that week. Not "I'm imperfect," not "I failed in general." Specific. I spoke harshly to my spouse. I nurtured resentment. I wasted hours in distraction. Bring it into the light. Do not rush this moment. Silence the house if you can. Turn off the television. Put the phone face down. Dim the lights. Let your home feel different for 5 minutes. Your grandchildren may never see your private prayer life. Your neighbors may never know your interior battles, but heaven sees. And when you kneel in secret, something invisible strengthens. This is how legacies are built, not through inheritance, but through intercession. Fourth, you will consciously offer your Friday sacrifice for someone by name. A son who drifted from the church, a daughter in a troubled marriage, a grandchild growing up in confusion, a friend battling illness. Lord, I unite this small denial to your cross for them. This is how Friday becomes real. This posture crushes pride. The ego hates to kneel. It hates specificity. It hates admitting fault without excuses. But that is precisely why it frees you. When you offer your hunger, your fatigue, your small restraint for another soul, something changes. Your inconvenience becomes intercession. Your discipline becomes love. Do not tell yourself you are too old to change. Padre Pio fought until his last breath. Holiness is not for the energetic, it is for the faithful. Go into the comments and make this concrete. For whom will you offer this Friday? Write the name or the role. Make it intentional: a child, a spouse, a country in turmoil, a priest, a broken family. Say it clearly, and then understand this. You will not do this perfectly. Some Fridays you will forget. Some you will rush. Some you will feel nothing. Do it anyway. Mercy is not the absence of failure. It is the courage to begin again without drama. The devil wants one missed Friday to become a reason to quit. Do not give him that victory. Every Friday is a heartbeat in the life of the Church. When you kneel, you are not alone in your living room in Ohio, Texas, Florida, or California. You are spiritually at Calvary, with Mary, with John, with every saint who ever loved Christ seriously. And after you finish, after you kneel, read, confess, and offer, there will be a quiet, not emotional fireworks, not visions, just a steady peace, the peace of alignment, the peace of having faced the truth and chosen love. This Lent, do not chase extraordinary experiences. Chase fidelity, chase discipline, chase honesty. Let Friday mark you. We are not ending with inspiration. We are beginning with decision. Go to the comments one last time and complete this sentence. This Friday, I will, and make it concrete. This Friday, I will kneel. This Friday, I will fast with intention. This Friday, I will return to confession. Seal it publicly. Padre Pio taught that prayer and sacrifice are the weapons that change the world. Not arguments, not comfort, not reputation. Prayer and sacrifice. Stand your ground this Lent. You are not too old to intensify your faith. You are not too late to become disciplined. You are not beyond transformation. But you are beyond excuses. History will not remember your comfort. Eternity will not reward your distractions. Heaven responds to sacrifice. Padre Pio did not live an extraordinary life because he had extraordinary circumstances. He lived extraordinarily because he refused mediocrity. That choice is still available to you. Even tonight, especially tonight, take Friday back. Let your home feel different when the sun sets. Let your soul remember that it was purchased at a price. And may the intercession of Saint Padre Pio give you the strength not just to abstain from meat, but to crucify what keeps you from Christ, until the peace of the resurrection is no longer a theory, but the air you breathe.